Hello, hello. Let's see here. A little late. Had a little reboot problem, which is pretty typical, but back on it, and hopefully everybody can see me. I'm gonna be sharing screen also. I'm gonna share my screen, but I'm gonna put this screen where I can make sure I'm sharing the right thing up on my other monitor. So if you're seeing me look the other way up like that, it's because I am checking to make sure, checking comments over there. I'm checking, is it over there? Yeah, checking comments over there. Checking to make sure that it's sharing the right screen. So my name is Darson Grantham, realtor and investor here in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. Just a quick synopsis. I've been buying real estate for 4 years, so nothing crazy, no 10-year real estate investor here, but been studying a lot, talked to a lot of investors. As an agent, I've helped probably 40 plus people buy a rental property of some capacity. I bought 7 or 8 of my own. Currently have 14 doors, I believe it is. A lot of conversions because they cash flow so darn well. So, but there are pros and cons. They have a different style of tenant. Anyway, that's a whole different party. But we're going to get into, so on this live stream, I'm going to do this every Monday, just a recap every Monday, 11:30 roughly start time, and we'll go through about 40, 45, 50 minutes probably. If there are a lot of questions, we'll go more into that. But what I'm going to do is I'm really going to share what properties are on the market currently, how do you analyze them, what's a good price point for a couple of them, and then also what is sold. So in my mind, if you can get a couple properties and get a better understanding of what other people are buying for them, you have a better idea of what a good deal is when you see it on market, right? So the properties I'm going to go over today are going to be 4220 and 4222 Franklin, which is a side-by-side ranch duplex, built for purpose duplex, pretty standard property. Also, we're going to go over 1614 Arlington, which is a 4-unit, and it is, I don't believe it's built for purpose, although it feels almost built for purpose. So I'm not, when I walked it was hard to tell if it was built for purpose or not. Pretty rough shape, if you know what I mean. And then the property that sold that we'll go over is 5911 and 5913 South Union, is sold in the last 14 days, which when I say sold, it closed. So when you see a property on market, it's active. When you see it go pending, it still hasn't sold, hasn't closed. Then when it closes, then we can see the actual numbers, what someone bought them for, maybe any seller concessions, and you can kind of estimate what rents are, so you know what percentage of rent ratio did it sell for. So that is how we're doing it. If anyone's listening to this and could comment to see, so I've got a program over here that's supposed to show me when people comment. So if you are listening to this live, just comment something so that I know this program works. The last video I did, there was no one that commented, so nothing showed up, which is fine. And if no one is here, that's fine too. I just want to know if this program works. So if you're on, if you could comment, that'd be pretty sweet. Or that you could just hear me in general. Okay, here we go. We're gonna so this is the matrix. And so in the real estate agent world, this is kind of our back-end database of properties and how to search them. And so I'm going to go over and through this program along with the Polk County Assessor page to kind of evaluate the property. Might even jump into Facebook to see what rents are in different areas, but I don't know if we'll get into that. So first one's first, we're going to go to some multifamily. Here's all the multifamily. And I know the property that I want is this one right here, 4220 and 4222 Franklin. I walked it last week. We got some good opinions on it. One side is vacant, so this is the vacant side. And then the other side is occupied, which is a little bit more updated, the occupied side. You can see it's got tuck under garages. I was hoping that was a walkout, that you could have a third bedroom in one of those units, and it's not. That's not the case. Although each of those tuck under garages is separated, so you're not sharing a garage with with the tenants. Are not sharing a garage. There's actually a wall in the middle. It's two separate garages. That being said, I do think that there's a possibility to put egress windows in right here, and then either on the other side over here, so that you can get third bedrooms in the basement. Very finishable. You could easily make this into three bed units. It's priced at $259. I will say I talked to the agent, and I think that they understand that it is overpriced. We'll just put it that way. So my thoughts on this, to analyze it, it does not say anything about what current leases are. So I'm going to market it as what I think leases or rents could be. And I'm also going to market it as turning it into a third bedroom, because I think that makes the most sense for this property. So if you had 2 units, let's just go bigger pockets. We're going to create Am I being impatient, or is it not loading? There we go. We do 4222 Franklin. Again, if you're listening live on this, if you could let me know if you can see or hear me, that would be fantastic. Okay, so we're going to evaluate this property. So purchase price, we'll just do at current, $59,900. Say closing cost, $2,000. I'm going to say we're going to rehab it, and we're going to say it's worth a $259 after rehab, because I don't think, actually we're going to say that we're going to buy it for $240. $249, $259. A repair cost. So 2 egress windows, I'd call that around $8,000. Finishing 2 rooms in the basement to make them bedrooms, I'd say another $5,000 a piece. So you're looking at $18,000. Real rough numbers, probably another 10. So $28,000. And you put $28,000 in this property, and it's gonna be pretty nice. Okay, so we're there. Say you're getting a loan, interest rate 4%, no points, 30-year. Right, so you're gonna have $51,000 down payment. Let's say you're making it's an investment property, so you're buying it. So $64,000 down payment. Okay, so once this thing is fixed up and rented, I think that you're going to be able to get $1,300 per side. So that's going to be $2,600. See, that's funny. Median rent for this property, that's a tough one. It's not $71.81, because that's for a 1-bed, 1-bath. We're turning this into a 3-bed, 1-bath. So property taxes, this should say property taxes $55.14. Insurance is $1,200 per year. R&M 5%, vacancy 5%, CapEx 5%, management 10%. Always do that. Electricity is on the tenants, gas is on the tenants. water. I don't remember if that was split or not. So we're going to say it's 160 paid for by the owner. So that's 80, so 170. So that's 85 unit. That's usually my kind of rule of thumb, give or take. No association fees. Garbage in Des Moines proper. Usually garbage is in the water bill. So here we go. So your cash on cash is 3.7%. A lot of people are looking for 5, 8, 10, 12% on that. I say a lot. Typically, people are looking for a little bit higher cash on cash. Monthly cash flow. So you're at so you're about almost at $150 a door. Like, to me, that's pretty fair. In Des Moines, like, I call that a pretty good deal. So like this property, I mean, at the current purchase price, that's what it could look like, right? Let's do something. Say you're able to get it for less, right? Say you're able to buy it for $240. Now the other outlier is that dollar amount right? Is that repair cost correct? And then is your rent amount? Is $2,600, $1,300 aside, is that reasonable? I think it is. I talked to someone who just rented two 2-bedroom units that I would say it's a less desirable property, just look, feel of the place. And this Franklin is right in the heart of Beaverdale. It's a block and a half from Snooki's ice cream shop, which, if you know Beaverdale, like, that's a big deal. So I think $1,300 for a 3-bedroom, and you're putting a 3rd bedroom in the basement, I think that's very reasonable. Because he's getting $1,100 for his 2 bedrooms, to 11 and 1150 for his 2-bedroom units. That is not in the heart of Beaverdale. It's more on the up by Merle Hay Mall, which is still Beaverdale, just not in the heart. That's the only gross assumptions that I'm like. And if that water is split, that's a whole different level too. Yeah, so say you bought it for that. So there's your, man, this might be a property that really makes a lot of sense. Let's do this. How about this? You buy for that. Let's say I know you're gonna rent it for the 1,100. So let's do 2,200. I know that you're gonna rent this as is currently for 1,100 aside, just based on especially for 3 bedrooms. So we'll do that. So this is very conservative. There you go. You can buy for 240. That's crazy. This seems really good. Oh my goodness. My purchase price was completely off. Oh, that's funny. That's why it was too good. Goofball. There you go. So if you're buying it at 240 and rents are only 1,100, which, again, I'm certain they're higher than 1,100 for a 3-bedroom, but say it is. This is what you're looking at. So this is kind of worst case scenario if you buy it at 240. And that takes into consideration you need 90 grand. So you need your down payment, plus you need another $28,000. Now, if you're going to get more than 1,100. So anyway, that's where this is at. Let's see here. Perfect. Okay. So that's this property. I think that there is some play here. I think that if you got rents what I think they could be at the 1300 side and you bought it for 240, I think you're looking at a pretty, like, this is a good solid deal, right? Yeah, I feel like I feel good about that. So anyway, there you go. There's that property. We'll look at one more. Wanted to look at that Arlington. Also, if anyone wants, this is a couple of my listings, a duplex and a triplex beside each other, combined for 50 a piece, $100,000 total. They have squatters in them, so that's fantastic. They are renting the property from not the owners, right? They're renting it from some guy in the neighborhood that is telling them that he owns the properties, and they're paying rent to him. This is mass chaos. So owners just want out. They're not willing to give them away because they'll just tear the buildings down. But they want to get rid of them. They're priced accordingly. So if you want to talk more about that, let me know. But that's not why I'm doing this live. Okay, Arlington. Here we go, 1614 Arlington. Here's the pictures of it. Obviously needs a new roof. Last time when I walked it, the roof was leaking, and that was a year ago. So let's see here. This is what it looks like. Big lot. Lack of gravel. So that's it. You walk into this. It might be a built for purpose because you walk in here and you go up into two apartments, and then downstairs there's 2 apartments. It might be built for purpose. When I walked it a year ago, it was all Section 8 tenants. Smelled completely like smoke. It's terrible smoke smell. In an area that is getting better and better. I really love the area. It's tough right now, but again, it's getting better. This 6th Ave corridor, this is all getting redone. It's really cool. I'm just going to go share that 6th Ave. It's really cool what they're kind of planning for this area. Not a lot of details, but check out this website, 6thavdsm.org. Okay, so back to this property. So you're buying it for $185. So we're going to go to view all reports. We'll go 1614. Purchase price $185. $1,000 in loan. Let's say that we are going to rehab it. It's going to be worth $225 after we rehab it. It needs, I don't know for sure, but let's say each unit needs 10 grand, and the here we go. We'll just do this. Each unit needs 10 grand. So we got 40. Roof is 10 grand, so that's 50. And so 50,000, and we'll just say we need some overage. We're gonna do 20% above 50,000, so 60 grand. 65 to feel good. $65,000 rehab. And that, again, that's rough numbers, and we're gonna do 25% down payment, 4% interest rate, 30-year term. But once it's rehabbed, each are 2-bedroom units, I believe, from my memory. Oh, they're all 1 bedrooms. Man, I thought they were bigger than that. So I would say, let's say, rough number, we're going to go $750 a unit because these are going to be all new rehabbed. 750 times 4, we got $3,000. Insurance, we're going to say that's a little bit more expensive. Property taxes pulled in. And R&M, because we're putting $10,000 in each property, we're going to do, again, $5,000, $5,000, $5,000. Management fees, $10,000. No electricity, no gas. We're going to do $350. I don't know if that water split, so we'll say that. Okay, so we're looking at here. I mean, this is be a property to do it. This is, you need about 113 invested. You're going to get 9% cash on cash. Trying to think of what areas am I underestimating, right? Like where am I underestimating? What could be wrong? I feel pretty good about those numbers. I mean, it's a good rule of thumb. You want to run your own numbers, but I feel fairly good about that. If anyone's watching this, just so I know that my program is working over here, could you comment on any of the videos, whether it's Facebook or it's YouTube, anything? Will you comment? I want to know if it's showing up. Hey, it works. I just did it myself. Okay. So this would be another property. I mean, this is, again, it's in an area that is up and coming. It's not, your A/B class neighborhood. I call it a C minus neighborhood. I would have no problem walking my kids there during the day. At night, I would probably be a little bit more cautious. We'll just put it that way. A good place that you can actually check this out is DSM crime rate. Website's really cool. So we'll do crime map. Whoops. We'll narrow down right into that property. So that property is somewhere, it's not, somewhere right there, I believe. Which, hey, no crime right there. Let's see here. Can we do the previous 4 weeks? There we go. It's fine. I mean, you're going to have some things. Where are we at here? Arlington, College Ave. So we're right around in this area. So again, I mean, you have crime. There are things that are going on, but nothing specific in this exact street or on this exact property. I'll wrap that one up. Again, that was 1614 Arlington. There we go. Sweet, Nikki. I'm glad. Oh, sweet. I'm glad someone's actually watching this stuff. Funny. Congrats on buying a duplex on the south side. I actually live on the south side, so I think you can get a lot of money for your purchases on the south side. There isn't like a big up and coming on the south side though. Like you have your Riverbend, which is kind of right here, right? So like it's an area that the city's putting a lot of money into, but on the south side, it's kind of just, it's blue collar. It's pretty status quo, pretty heavy Hispanic over on the kind of the southeast side of the south side. But all in all, like I love the south side. I've lived there, 10, 12 years now. So let's see. Okay, so now we'll go into a property that has sold. And we do this slightly different way. Turn off that, turn on that. Look at sold in the last 14 days. So this property is probably most similar to the Franklin Ave property that I showed earlier, although the Franklin Ave, obviously, in my opinion, aesthetically looks much better than this one does. The brick front, vinyl siding, although this one does have a pretty good size side yard, backyard right here, which is kind of cool. And you can tell, oh, there you go. I didn't notice that at first. You can tell this basement has been braced. See, these are braces. So, you know that basement walls are, I don't say caving in, but they've been braced so that they don't cave in. Okay, so this one, just first glance, it says it's got 4 2-bedroom units. I think that was a typo. It's probably got 2 2-bedroom units, so 4 total bedrooms. It sold, listed at $199, sold for $192.5 in 15 days. Is a 1977 build, which is pretty typical for these ranches. 50s to 70s is what you'll see these built for purpose 2 duplexes. Yeah, there's nothing else about this property that stands out. Let's see here. This is the seller disclosure. So the reason I'm looking at this is like I want to know what it's sold for, like compared to what I think rents probably are, and why does that, like what rent to price ratio are we looking at? So it was owned by an estate, so they filled out nothing on the seller disclosure, which is their legal ability because they're an estate, so they don't have to type in any of that. But let's just go to the reports. We'll type in new report 5911 South Union. And we don't know that there's any rehab, so we're going to do at current, not at market rents, right? So it was purchased for $192,500. Say there's $2,000 purchase costs. 25% down, 4% interest rate, 30-year term. So current rent's probably $800 to $850. So we'll do on the higher end. So $850 aside, so $1,700. Yeah, that's good. Property taxes, we were looking at $34.86. Do $1,200 a month or a year. Repairs, we're gonna do 5. Vacancy, we're gonna do 5. We're gonna do a little bit higher on CapEx because it looks like it needs a roof. And then 10% management. Electric, we're gonna assume that they're split. You can actually call. Then water in most of these duplexes is not split, so we're gonna do $170.85 a unit. Garbage. Okay, here we go. So these people, clearly they bought it, in my opinion, they bought it at a negative cash on cash, even with no repairs. So let's assume they're getting higher rent than I think. Let's assume they're getting $900 aside, which I don't think they're getting above that. If they're getting above that, I need to up my south side rents, which I don't. Best case, $950 aside. Just cause. There you go. If they were getting $950 aside, which I don't think that they're probably getting, the most it's going to cash flow is $80 a month, and that's total, not per door. So what that tells me is a lot of my investors, my clients, will complain that someone bought something that it isn't cash on cash. It's not cash flowing, and this person they bought this property either the intent not to cash flow, and they're fine with it, which is possible, probably unlikely, but possible. 2, they plan to increase rents. So let's look at this like we did the other ones. let's say they bought it for $192, but they're going to rehab it. So let's say they're going to put a new roof on it, $8,000, and say they're going to do $15,000 a unit. So they're looking at, let's do $10,000 a unit. So $30,000. $10,000 roof, roughly, and then, or $8,000 roof and 11 each side. So still repair. Oh, after ARV. So let's say it's worth $225. I think that's super possible on the south side. If you do well for a property, good ARV would be $225. Repair costs, so it's going to be $30,000 to repair. Still there. Rents then are going to be 11 for a 2-bedroom. I just don't see you going above 1,100 on the south side. So we'll go there. Same property, same. So we're going to do back that down because we have a new roof on it. Although I don't know what the mechanicals look like. So here we go. There we go. That's kind of a projected pro forma. 6% cash on cash. They're going to be getting $400 a month once it's all done. There you go. I mean, it's possible. That's probably what they're looking at. That's right on the $200 a side, $200 a door. Kind of burr property, burr opportunity, as long as you can get it to appraise at that $225. And so if it appraises at $225 times 0.75, you're going to get $168 out of it. So you're going to be leaving about $20,000 into it. You're not going to do a full burr and get all of your money out on this deal, from what I can tell. But you're going to get all of it except $23,000. So on $23,000, you're going to be getting roughly $400 a month. So your cash on cash. Yeah, your cash on cash can be about 10%. About divided by 4. So I'm doing 4,000 because that's roughly the amount of cash you're going to have. It'd be 4,800, but we'll do 4,000. It's the amount of cash you're going to have in your pocket. And then you kept in the property about $23,000. So I do 4,000 divided by 23,000, and you're looking at about a 17% cash on cash. This is real rough numbers. I made a lot of assumptions here, but it does give you an idea of this property, what someone could be planning on seeing the property and what they could be doing with it. After running these numbers, I feel like all of these properties make sense at the numbers that I ran. Obviously, made a lot of assumptions here, so take that for what it's worth. You need to run your own assumptions. I'm not a contractor. I am not your agent, not your investor, nothing. So take this all with a grain of salt. But I feel like I made some pretty solid assumptions, and you can kind of determine on your end what makes sense for you as an investor. So anyway, I'll wrap that up. Nikki, I just want to appreciate you. Let me know that the comments work. And I'm going to do, again, these videos, these lives every Monday around the noon time frame. I'll try to do a better job of getting it out there and publicizing it, but I am excited about doing it. It's fun. It's fun to hear folks are watching it. And if you have any questions about these properties or any other properties on the market, reach out to me. Happy to give you my 2 cents, my opinion, and any other resources I have as either an investor or an agent. I'm here to help. So again, my name is Darson Grantham, real estate agent and investor at Keller Williams here in Des Moines. And this is me signing off. So thanks. Have a good one.